Hey besties, welcome to Cozy Chats. My name is Randy and I'm here to normalize a cozier way to do business for chronically exhausted entrepreneurs. But quickly, before we get into today's episode, I want to extend an invite to all the chronically cozy entrepreneurs out there looking for a community that understands them. I know how isolating it can feel to run a business while managing a chronic illness or neurodivergence, which is why I built the Chronically Cozy community. It's a free community for entrepreneurs where you can share your creations, connect, collaborate, and feel supported. If that sounds like your vibe, we would love to have you. Join us today at chronicallycozylife.com or through the link in my bio. Now, sit back, get cozy, and let's get into today's episode. Hello, besties. Welcome to Chronically Cozy Chats. My name is Randy. Today's guest is Liz Cruz, a social marketer and strategist for wellness brands. And today we're going to talk about how we are managing social media when we are chronically ill, and a lot about creating that message that really connects with your people. I know that socials are like a real struggle these days, and I know that Liz is going to have some amazing tips. So please sit back, get cozy, and let's chat. Hey, Liz, thank you so much for being here.
Hey, yeah, thank you for having me, Randy. I'm excited to talk today.
Yes, me too. I'm so excited. I love talking about like social media and all these like media marketing things, but nobody in my like real life ever seems to want to talk about it with me in the same capacity. Like they don't understand the ins and outs like I do. They're just like, social media.
Yeah, that thing that they don't
Yeah.
want to talk about. Yeah.
Yeah. They have like, and I find that like a lot of people have a very low opinion of it unless you get to the point where you truly understand it and you can see all the benefits of it and everything. And
Yeah.
I think that also if you are chronically ill, you really see the benefit of it.
Yes.
It's
Yeah, I
such a
agree.
way to connect. Yes, thank you so much. I'm so excited to talk about this. I'm so excited to talk about messaging and all of the tips that you're going to share with us for like how to make it a little bit easier. I have heard so much complaint about social media lately. It's burning everyone out. We're exhausted. The algorithms are gaslighting us constantly. Like, as often as our doctors are at this point. And so this is going to be a really good one. I'm really excited about this. But let's start with how you got into it.
Yeah. So my name is Liz Cruz. I'm the owner of Cruz Social Co. I actually have over 10 years of marketing experience. So I've been in marketing for a while. I got my degree in communications. I started off with, I'm going to have an internship at this amazing marketing company that turned into a job. But then I was let go of that job and it was devastating. They laid off a lot of people from that employer. And so that kind of made me transition actually into healthcare. And I was working in a hospital setting, and then COVID happened. I had kids. I ended up working in a physical therapy office, worked my way up to a marketing role there. Really enjoyed it. But then my health became an issue. And so I started having like tachycardia problems. I was like, I think I have POTS. I went to this whole research of like, what is dysautonomia? I was so overwhelmed with like, okay, what is actually going on? And it was very confusing, a lot to navigate, the way that things are. Me and my husband were like, well, we have kids, we need more income. And I'm like, I know I want to work, but I need something that works for me. So unfortunately, I had to leave that full-time role. And I was like, honestly, I'm just going to go into business for myself. And yeah, we're just going to do this. And so having that confidence, despite what was going on around me, to be able to do that, yeah, I really couldn't have done that without the support of my husband too, because it's really scary, to dive into entrepreneurship. But I was really thankful to be able to have the opportunity to do that. So now what I do, I've been in my own business almost 3 years, having this business. Started off with just helping someone with social media posting, as like a basic social media manager, who gave me a chance. And now I serve multiple clients. I've worked with clients across the US, multiple different brands, and I absolutely just love what I do and helping people really, strategize and help market their offers, right? And what they love, and just really partnering with people and doing that. So
I love it. It's so funny how like at this current moment we've got kind of everybody has like a little bit of a similar point in their story. And then COVID happened. And like this changed.
yeah.
No, that's so cool. Yeah. I mean, like, yeah, needing to have that kind of like that flexibility and stuff. And social media is all about giving that flexibility. That's one of the things that we all love about it, is that
Yeah.
it gives us access to all of these people without having to be right there all the time.
Yes.
But
Yes.
these days it is demanding a lot.
Yeah.
So how
No.
are you keeping up with multiple accounts?
Yeah. Great question. So really putting systems in place, being able to help multiple clients. I have a system, right, of like how I find leads, how I onboard them, how it runs month to month with them. It varies based on the client and their needs, but really just being adaptable, doing what works for me. I built my business in a way that like I do everything remote. I do not go and film content for people. Maybe eventually if I have local clients, but I know for me, that's not how I wanted my business to be. I want to be able to offer that remote work where I'm doing all this for you. It's completely done for you. We will run everything from ads, email to your socials, everything in between, but you can get me the content and I will take care of it from there. So yeah, I think just really having good systems in place, and that's really what I want to talk about today too for your audience, is really just, I think having systems in place that work for you is the biggest thing, because if your business doesn't work for yourself, then you're not going to enjoy it. And that was the biggest thing for me too. Like I need it to work for my life, for my kids, for my health,
That's what a
because
cozy business is all about, is just
exactly.
making it like, this is a thing that I'm constantly telling people, like, and I'm sure that this is part of what you're going to say, is like, you can't follow somebody else's path all the time. Like you have to find your own way that makes it work for you. You can't like compare yourself to their, to the journey that somebody else is on.
Yeah.
It's not
No,
the
I
same.
love that you said that. I think that was like, it continues to be an issue, right? You have that shiny object syndrome where you're like, I need to download this course, I need to buy this template, I need to do these whatever, I
Yeah.
need to hire this coach, and you think you have to do all these things, and then you're like, at the end of the day, you're like, why the heck did I do that? I just overwhelm myself. And for me, I think it's an impulse thing. Like I just have like this impulse to buy things. But
You
realizing,
might have the ADHD.
I know, yeah, just a little bit. Um,
That is, I know, because I know that that's actually a common problem for my neurodivergent viewers, that like shiny object syndrome of wanting to do all
yes.
the things, and probably myself as well.
I know. And it's so hard when you run a bit, you're like, oh, well, I just want to be the best, right? I want to be able to whatever. And so I compare what I'm doing with my clients. Like I have to be like this agency, and then I'll buy this course and do their stuff and then get this other stuff. And I'm like, but it needs to work for me. Do I need a 48-page document that my clients have to go through? No, because they're probably not going to go through it. I want to just be like, here's what you need to know, and this is what I'm going to take care of, because that's what they hire me to do, take care of stuff for them. So yeah, just realizing, again, making it work for yourself and not like thinking you have to overload your plate, because again, like you said, building a cozy business and what you have, like it needs to work for you.
It's all about you. It's all about
Yeah.
the personalization. All
Yeah.
right, let's get into the social medias of it all. It's your favorite app.
So I love being on Instagram. I've been on here since we had the terrible filters and Woman Crush Wednesdays.
The terrible filters and the pictures of your breakfast and your cat and the cute little like quotes for captions. Honestly, just
Yeah.
such a simpler time.
Yeah, like the, music lyrics as our captions, But yeah, I mean, like back in the day, I was on MySpace,
Way
kind
to
of
age
Twitter.
ourselves here.
I know, not really Twitter, but kind of. And then it was Instagram. I mean, Facebook. Oh, I've always been on Facebook. I know people say it's for the old people now, but I'm like, maybe I'm getting up to that crowd.
I've recently found that I can find plants and puzzles on Facebook, so I've gotten back on there recently.
I love it for Facebook groups. Honestly, the communities I'm a part of, Facebook, where I find all my clients is in a paid work group, and it is on, they or on Facebook. That's where they host the group. Cannot complain about it at all. So yeah, I love Facebook. I love Instagram. Those are my go-tos now. However, if I'm gonna mindlessly scroll, it's probably on TikTok. Otherwise, yeah.
Typically kept my TikTok rather like my algorithm has nothing to do with business, so that it can be more of the mindless scroll place, whereas my Instagram algorithm is all business and like all chronic illness and neurodivergence.
Yeah, you got to have a happy balance between your accounts.
Yeah. And do you Threads?
New trends. Oh, man.
Sorry, do you use Threads?
Oh, sorry. Threads, yes. So it's so hard to keep. It's kind of like the new Twitter, to be honest. And so if you're not posting all the time, no one probably sees your content. I'm like, the amount of time I remember to go back on there, I'm like, oh, I haven't been on here in 3 months. So I'm not really using it probably as much as other people are. However, I will say the algorithm on that is actually really good. Like in the sense that if you post like, hey, I'm looking for so-and-so people with so-and-so, whatever, if you are really good at calling that out and being consistent on there, then you will find your people. I will say that. I have been using Threads a lot. I find like it is really great for the neurodivergent community. It's a place where we can kind of just like brain dump. I refuse to have a Threads strategy by any means. It is entirely just a place that like I open up and say random things, and it's worked very well for me. That's good. That's good. See, and that's the thing about building a business that works for you. Like you find the platform you like, and whatever you're doing, if it works, continue doing it. Because everyone's trying to try to tell you their strategy and sell you something, and odds are it's just a repeated, regurgitated something from someone else. And it's just gonna, it may not even work. So yeah, it's also probably just made up. Like, honestly, so my personal belief is generally that the social media apps are not for us. Like they're not working for us. They're working for themselves. They're intended to get us to create content, to put it out there, to like perpetuate their own goals in their own app. That's their bottom line. And I think that that's really important to understand when you get into it, because if you think that they're trying for you, you're going to be really insulted when you get like 100 views on something. But when you realize that that was just like, that one wasn't furthering their objective. Yeah. But when you start looking at it more as, they're doing their thing, you're doing your thing, and those 100 views are people that saw it because that was what their algorithm fed them. That's what they wanted to see. And some of us might just be in smaller communities, like especially those of us who are chronically ill or focused on doing one specific thing. Yes. The views are such a... Where's your stance on like views these days? Yeah, I was gonna say I love that imagery where it shows this is what 100 people in a room looks like, right? You just had 100 people view your story. Okay, well, or reel. This is what 100 people looks like. Yeah. This is what 500 people looks like. This is what 1,000. Like just really putting into perspective. Like if you can help, even a few people, that's okay. Yeah. Like when people think about, I got to have all these followers and these vanity metrics and things that overwhelm you that do not matter, it is so overwhelming. And when you just think about, wow, if I just have a couple hundred followers who love me, who care about me, who like my product or my service, you can have an income off of that. I mean, I know people that have only a couple hundred followers and they're making $10,000, $20,000 a month, right? I mean, it doesn't matter, I mean, at the end of the day, it's really about building community. And that was a big thing, I wanted to mention today. Like the views are so, it's so just not important as much as everyone may think. Yeah. It's the community. It's all about the community and the people that you do have following you, the people that are seeing the thing, and what you're sharing and how you're connecting, right? Like, I also think it's important to note that like social media probably shouldn't be your only avenue as well. And like, that's a big thing. Like that's a big thing I talk about in all my content strategy stuff, is that it sounds like it's a lot more effort to set up a system of having more places, but also when social media or like one social media app is your everything, you're putting yourself at such risk of having everything taken away or of losing everything, and you're just not using it optimally. Yeah, I agree with you. And every business is different. Like you may not your business may not do well on certain platforms, and that's okay. And also just thinking about, like, I love how you have an email newsletter, you have a blog, like you have other things, and that is so important. Like there has to be other layers to your business. For one, different income streams, and different ways to get your name out there, different ways to build a community. But yeah, it cannot solely be like, I'm just going to post and whatever happens, happens. Like odds are you are going to be really disappointed and then just really burned out and overwhelmed.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, like, I do definitely encourage new people getting into it. Like, always start with one thing. Start with one thing, get good at that, get comfortable with that, and then move on. But as you move on and grow, building that ecosystem of content. And I do the blog specifically because I can blog, write a whole piece of content, and turn that one piece of content into like 50 different posts.
Yeah.
Like plus emails, plus everything else. So, and we were talking about like, we're going to get into the repurposing in a second. But I wanted to back up for a second and talk about the like importance of the community and the importance of and how you build a community versus an audience. Because an audience you have to perform for. An audience is demanding content from you. Whereas a community, I feel like, is there to I feel like I've got a community. There are people that like they're there to show up and connect with me and talk to me, help the building process grow. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, you cannot negate the people who are watching your stories, right? People who are reading your emails, people who genuinely care to hear what you have to say, regardless if they're not even someone who you see as an ideal lead or an ideal person who's going to buy my product or my service. Like genuinely making connection with people simply for making connection. It goes back to just being human and one, not trying to automate everything in your business. Like I believe you should be the one speaking to your people and being interested in their lives too, because that makes it so easy to build communicate because you have something to talk to them about, and I like what you said, like audience is like, I'm just going to be here to perform. And if that's really all you're trying to do, like, it's just going to set you up for failure in building an online brand, because at the end of the day, what do people impulse on, right? Or do something based on? It's usually based on emotion, right? They feel something, they feel connection. They somehow feel like she has the answer to what I'm looking for. And it may be just simple as your solution works for them, but also sometimes, like on social media at least, I want to feel something. Like if I feel emotional, I'm gonna start crying at a reel. I'm like, I'm gonna follow you, I'm gonna comment, I'm gonna react. Like
it can even be like not necessarily that she has the answer. Like your post can just be something that like connects. And like we really like I know that everybody is so tired of being sold to online. And so a lot of us are trying to figure out how to switch our messaging from that like traditional salesy kind of post that we were used to making to doing something that connects a little bit more. What's your best advice when people are trying to find like what is it that connects? What kind of posts are you finding that are making that difference?
I think the biggest thing is testing what works for you. So if you hate creating reels and you don't like video editing, don't do it, right? Like maybe carousels are your thing, where you're like, I just love being able to put a picture, put some text on it, get my message across. Do that. I say do what works for you, and what you see is building that connection. And honestly, people love seeing the mistakes. Be messy with it, because oh my gosh, I had a grammar error in that. Don't delete the post. Who cares? Like just keep moving forward, and it's okay to like show your humanness. It doesn't need to be perfect. That's the biggest thing with social media is these people have made these tailored perfect platforms and content, and everyone's actually kind of like shying away from that because they're like, it just seems too perfect in the sense that I can't even make that level like at all. And so, people do bond more with someone who is showing genuine connection and actually showing their brand, living out loud. Like, I'm actually dealing with chronic illness. However, I still want to help and support wellness brands. That's a big thing for me. Sometimes you may feel that imposter syndrome, like, oh my gosh, how can I even help or serve this particular group when I deal with this? But, that's really just, a mindset thing too. And that goes into your messaging, right? And how you talk, one, about yourself, and then how you depict that to other people too.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And like, I mean, so many people get lost in that, like, I have to have a perfect space. I have to have a perfect background. Like, everything has to look aesthetic. And it really, really doesn't. And like, I mean, honestly, I am trying to like just encapsulate that with this because I do post the videos of these like on YouTube. So if anybody's just listening and wants to see it, you can watch on YouTube. I refuse to have bright lighting because that is my sensory nightmare. It's not cool. Don't love it. Dark room is much better for me. Um, my hair is rarely like done up or fancy. I am not a makeup person. That is another sensory nightmare for me. And I am a cozy clothes person. So like these are kind of things that like this is who I am. But these were the things that were stopping me from posting on social media. Like I felt like I needed to put on the makeup. I needed to do my hair. I needed to get like nicer clothes to be able to like post on social media. What do you usually tell people when they're getting like too stuck up in that?
Mm. Yeah, I have a particular client who um, really had a bad past and, went through trauma and things of that nature. And it was really hard for her to show up online. And now she's a coach and she's helping people or women who've gone through those types of trauma and abuse. And so she's even transparent with me like, hey, this is just a trauma response. Like, it is so hard for me to get on camera and talk and do these things, and I overthink it. And I just encourage her, in the sense of, it doesn't have to be perfect. Going back to like, you don't have to be done up and be what you think you're supposed to look like. And yeah, I get it. It's really just about encouraging people to just show up as yourself. Like, and I'm speaking to the choir, like I'm talking to myself as I say this because it is really hard. It
Yeah.
is very hard. Even today I was like, oh my gosh, my hair, like my hair is getting thin and just different things. We all have our own self-conscious things. And I'm like, like, I have to let go of that so that I can show up, right? And I think people appreciate more when you are yourself because then you're actually going to find your people.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, like, there I am thinking about, like, the people who are struggling with how they're showing up, forgetting that, I mean, like, also there's people who are full on, like, not wanting to show up online at all, like having their face online. And I mean, that's not one that I've ever personally struggled with. I mean, I definitely like dealt with the like, I want to be perfect. I want to make it look good. Take 50 photos of myself and pick like the best angle. That was like super duper posed. And then filter and I did that whole part, but I never struggled with the actually showing up. So how, like, when somebody is just not wanting to, whether it is because like trauma or because it's unsafe for them or whatever, what kind of content are we recommending for people who just like really don't want to have their
Yeah.
faces online?
So what I would say is, for example, let's say someone has an art business or crocheting or I don't know, building something, right? You honestly do not need to show your face. Like there are accounts I'll follow and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's really cool what they're creating, right? They're knitting blankets or whatever it is. They don't have to show their face. Their camera is at their hands. Like
Yeah.
you don't even see them. You see their work, and what they're proud of and things that they do. And so I think just kind of thinking through what is a way that I can still show up that feels authentic, that doesn't press me to feel like I have to be a certain way and have to show my face. Simplifying. I think that's the biggest thing, simplifying, whether it's I go live and show what I'm working on today or I post a picture of my work, right? But
What about for those of us who like we are our work, like us coaches? Like I am my work, I am my brand. I don't like I create digital products, but that's
yeah,
not necessarily something that's as fun to like watch the creation of or anything.
yeah.
Though actually a fun time lapse of creating something on Canva, always entertaining. Um, like what are you suggesting for people like that who like where
Yeah.
technically they would be their brand? What kind of content?
Yeah, I think a big easy way to do this is stories because you can talk in or you can do a picture and put text on screen, your stories, put polls, put your links to stuff, and you don't have to show your face at all. Another thing is repurposing content. So having a low effort, like album on your phone, it can be footage from 3 years ago. I don't care. It can be old stuff. And you can put, if you're going on Instagram, that's your platform you love, B-roll, text on screen, converts well, does well, gets better reach. It's very low effort for people who do deal with chronic illness to say, I don't want to sit here and record a talking head video and edit the whole thing and do all the stuff and hire a video editor because I can't afford it, whatever it is, right? So doing something like that is so simple. And even using pictures of, like, let's say this week, recap of whatever, picture of my cat, picture of the walk I went on, picture of my computer screen. And then on the text on screen just says, you know, whatever is relatable to your topic you want to talk about in that post, or to your week and what you're recapping. But I think just simplifying, right? Really simplifying, having low effort stuff you can post, having that B-roll. And B-roll is really just like random footage of your life. It doesn't even have to have your face in it. It could be you, like your feet walking. It could be your coffee you're sipping, reading a book, your computer screen. I mean,
getting creative.
So simple. Yeah.
Get creative or get on Canva. Hey there, bestie. Sorry to interrupt the show, but I'm building something so cozy and I just couldn't wait to tell you about it. If you're loving the cozy vibes of today's episode and wondering how you can make your business feel this cozy without using up any more energy, I would like to invite you to the Cozy Content Creators Club. This is on top of the community that I told you about earlier. It is a low commitment group coaching container and content library designed to help you build a business that works with your energy. As a member of the club, you get access to monthly group coaching and workshops that are created for the tired and busy entrepreneur, including our Cozy CEO days and quarterly planning sessions to help you stay consistent with your content, and the Resource Nook with all my best tools, templates, and resources. So if you're ready to make your business feel a little cozier, sign up for the Cozy Content Creators Club today. Right now, until September, you can lock in at the founder's price of only $27 a month Canadian. To join the club, visit chronicallycozylife.com or visit the link in the show notes. Okay, now let's get back to our cozy chat. For real. I mean, like, yeah, and I think at this point, like, if I look at my analytics, I don't know if everybody else's is the same, but like, if I look at my analytics and what I'm seeing and hearing from everybody, most of my carousels and my pictures are performing just about as well as my reels are these days.
Yep.
And I don't bother with trials reels because honestly, I do believe that was like a tricky way to talk us into posting everything twice. You will not convince me otherwise that was not just Instagram's way to like trick us into doubling the amount of content that we put out there. No,
Yeah.
Again, they're not for you. They're actually for themselves. They just want they want your content. They're little content machines.
Yes.
Which is why I say, like, if you don't want to make a shit ton of content, start a blog.
Yes.
Start a blog. I mean, like, start a blog anyways, and then you can also make shit ton of content from it, but like lasts so much longer. It doesn't.
Yeah.
Nothing.
And it's so good
for lasting power.
Yeah, and it's so good for SEO purposes, like you're saying, like it's long lasting, it's there forever. And also I was going to mention too, even voice notes, like you can do a voiceover and then have that B-roll footage. Your whole video can just be random footage, right? Can relate it to your video, but do a voiceover. Then you can talk, but people don't even have to see you. I can't tell you how many times I bought something from someone. I never even heard their voice. I've never seen a real video from them. It was just an ad, pictures, whatever. I mean, it really, I think we have these expectations on ourselves of like how we're supposed to show up. Yeah. But we really don't. Like, who's telling you that, right? Like, you don't have to do that. And that goes back to building the business for yourself and making sure, like, I'm making it easy. Make it feel easy. Like, repurposing content. Like you're saying, look at your analytics. Hey, this did well like 2 months ago, 3 months ago. I'm going to repost it exactly the same and see how it does.
Wait, where did I go with that? My brain just stopped. The analytics of it, the consistency, or how often we post. What's the best advice? Because everyone feels like, everyone said we have to post consistently. And I think everybody heard we have to post every day, all day, constantly. Yeah. What's the actual, where's that medium ground there?
Honestly, and I follow a lot of the head of Instagram, right? I listen to what he says, and follow that. Every platform is different. I will say, if you want to be on TikTok, you have to post 3 times a day. It's outrageous. If you like, I want extreme reach and I want to be popular and
Yeah.
reach all, you're going to have to post 3 times a day or more. And it's outrageous. And I will not do that. As a chronically ill girly, I'm not doing that at all. So TikTok is a beast.
I can't even
And
keep up with like just the general idea of like TikTok content. Like,
yeah, unless you're like, I'm not even going to edit anything, just put a slap of captions on here. Okay, sure. If you have
I
time for
pretty
that.
much got as far as figuring out like lip syncing videos,
Yeah.
and they worked, and that's as far as I got.
You're like, that's what I'm doing. I will say Instagram, if you can post 3 to 4 times a week, cool. But if you can't, post twice. I say do what works for you. As long as you're showing up and you don't ghost the platform for 30 days, that's the biggest thing. Like if you stop posting for a month, it will take time to get that traction again, right? And they're like, who needs to see your content? Who do I need to push in front of? Blah, blah, blah. Yes. But 30 days is kind of like, it is a little bit of a long time. I will say though, even on LinkedIn, right? If you want to be more professional, find a job op, whatever, even on there, they're like, if you're in this app too much or you're on this website too much, we actually don't trust you. Stop posting so much. Like we don't want you to. You seem like a
You're
bot.
posting too much. You might not actually be working too hard. So
Yeah, they're like, chill. So that's why I say every platform is a beast in itself. You have to just find what works for you. Like if you enjoy Threads and it works, do it. You enjoy Instagram because you love sharing your life or behind the scenes in your stories and you barely post on your feed. Who cares? Do that. Because the most intimate people and followers who are like your warm audience who actually care about you are going to be in your stories. So that's a big thing to know too. But yeah, I mean, just do what works for
my
you.
stories have never gotten big views. I have always loved posting to stories because I like that I can just like take a snapshot, say something like, and it goes away. Like it really extra doesn't matter what you put on there because it's going to go away. But my stories have also just never gotten like huge views. Like it's always been like, you know, a good core group.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Your core followers, like people who like support you, like were your OGs, ride or dies, they are literally going to probably be the ones that are following you.
My besties. They're the ones that are going to shout me out like on Threads when somebody's asking for something. Like those are my favorite people. Oh my gosh. Huge shout out to anybody who's ever shouted out my name when I wasn't even in the room. Like those are like the best kind of, you know, business besties to have.
Yeah.
And I feel
agree.
like our like chronically ill community of entrepreneurs, we're some of the best at that. Like we want to help each other so much more. There's much less competition because we're too tired to compete. Mostly, yeah. What was it? I wanted to ask you about analytics and then systems. I'm going to say both so that I remember. Okay, so analytics. How are like, you know, the simplified version, how do you recommend people look at their analytics and figure out what is actually working?
Yeah. Make it easy for yourself. There are tools, there are third-party trackers that can help you track this data. That's what I use for my clients. So I use a tool called Metricool. This is not an ad. I'm not getting paid for this. I am just sharing that this is a great tool. Metricool can really track your data well. I also just like using whatever Meta provides. So like I'll look at the Meta analytics. Instagram has gotten really good at this. They actually will give you like a monthly recap now. So you don't have to like go and search it out. You just click a button and it'll tell you what's did well, your best content, who's engaging, the best time to post. You know, based on when your audience is there or whatever. So really just looking at those. And what I like to look at is shares, saves, reposts, which is now a cool thing that they have on Instagram. You know, watch time. If you post a video, like, are they falling off after a second?
Yeah.
Maybe my hook wasn't good, or maybe I wasn't like capturing their attention, right? So really just looking at like what is actually converting for you. And that goes back to helping you know what kind of content to create. So analytics are really important because you don't want to be wasting your time on stuff that like isn't even resonating with your audience or working at all.
But I think the important thing to like that I want to recap in what you just said was that you did not mention just views. Like, because that is the thing I think that everybody's considering to be like their analytics is they're just going off views. But like when you start looking into like what got a share, what got a repost, and maybe that one didn't particularly get as many views. But if somebody liked it so much that they wanted to share it with a friend or like post it to their own feed,
Yes.
that's the one to pay attention to. That's such a good point. And then the systems of it all. So one of the things you said is like the not automating everything. And obviously, like as a chronically cozy coach, my whole thing, like I do love teaching people how to automate things. But one of my things has always been that I don't automate my social media. I don't schedule my social media. I pre-plan my social media-ish. To be honest, I'm not always great at it.
Yeah.
I pre-plan it, but like I don't schedule it out. One, because all of the scheduling apps are really annoying. And I've just never liked them. But also I just feel like it feels more authentic. And it also like it gives me that time. Like I go on, I post my stuff, and then I go on and I like talk with people. And that's when I do my like communication and stuff. What do you usually suggest for when you're like putting out the content for the systems and the automating?
Yeah, I really think it just depends on one, your workload, how you're working. Like, I think most of us, if we're chronically ill and most of us are working from home. So we have that capability, right, to be able to say, okay, I'm just going to say at 9, 12, and 3, I'm going to go in and I'm going to do whatever I need to do or post or engage with my audience or whatever. I think do that if it works for you. But so it has to be one of two things. Either one, you do automate it, right? You schedule it out. Meta, you can schedule. Third-party apps you can schedule. They just cost money. And that's an extra added cost to your business. Or you just make a calendar, kind of like you just said. You kind of have it planned out. Like, okay, this week I want to talk about these general topics. These are the videos I can pull from. Having a mix of content too. So like this is literally just top of funnel, which is meant to be relatable and funny. This is actually meant to help convert and get people on my email list, right? This is meant to sell my product. So actually like being strategic about it, about like the type of content you're posting. And when you do it in advance, you feel less overwhelmed. I will say like planning is so helpful, even in times for like us. So like, for example, this week was really hard. Like we had a lot of snow. Our weather has been awful where I live and I was in so much pain. And I was like,
Same.
I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that or that. Like, so because of that, you have to think like, if you do plan ahead and you do have things already scheduled out or done, it is such a breath of fresh air when you're like, oh my gosh, I don't have to worry about that. Oh, thank goodness.
Yeah. So many people, like, I know, especially those of us who are neurodivergent, we really struggle with having like that schedule. And like, so I'm big on trying to teach people how to, it's creating a schedule with flexibility. Like it's more of a suggestion and a guide. Like that's kind of more like what I create. Like, it's like, this is what I would like to put out this week. If that happens, neat. That's a good week. Awesome. I love that. If it doesn't happen, well, it gets maybe scheduled to next week or it's like, it's not like the content dies or anything. Like that's the important thing too, is making content that's like evergreen and just relevant constantly. Like if you get too trendy, all of your content is just like dead right away. So you want to have like that evergreen content. But yeah, trying to like just putting it out there kind of constantly and getting those ideas. What do you tell people for the brainstorming of the ideas and everything?
So for my clients that I work with, I actually will provide them with a complete shot guide. So I'll tell them like this is what's trending. This is an example reel of what you can record. Like I pretty much laid out all out for them. I do the strategy for them. So I'm doing that heavy lifting because it does take time. So if you're a solopreneur doing it for yourself, I think just saving, like save all to a folder in Instagram. Like if you're on Instagram scrolling, save all the videos that you like that you maybe want to replicate that are doing well in your industry.
Yes, I have the most ridiculous saved folder.
Trust me, I do too. And I have the most intention of going back to it. Sometimes it doesn't happen. That's okay.
I actually did go through it the other day though. Actually, this was probably one of the weirder things I've ever done. I just went through it and pulled out a list of hooks that were doing well. the hooks that I was seeing that were doing really well and the types of things. And like, every once in a while there was like, I read a hook and then I was like, oh my gosh, also this. And so now I actually have a whole list of hooks, which I
There you
may or
go.
may not share at some point, just like from scrolling through my saved folder. So, it's not completely useless waste of time.
Yes, I think having a save folder is great. Um,
And a saved
it,
folder of B-roll.
yeah, just having all of those things batched because I reuse content all the time. And I think a video I just posted a reel for yesterday was from like 2 years ago because I'm like, well, I have to plan to go record content. And if I'm not feeling good and the weather sucks, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
And I may get 2 or 3 clips from somewhere, but
repurposing and posting so
yes,
important. And like everybody always feels like, people are going to get bored of it, but like nobody sees all your content
nope.
and nobody's going to notice your reposting unless there's some weirdo like me who's actually sitting there like analyzing your content because they like it so much and it looks easy. I did that at one point. I was like, I just kept seeing this one creator. I can't remember who it was now, but her picture like actually always like, it was always like the same like 3 pictures of herself, usually with like the background taken out, put on a different place, like in a different position. And I was like, so I clicked through to, that was literally all of her content. She had quite a few followers. All of her content had great views, but like so much of it was just like 3 photos of her put around in different spots on the like graphic. Keep it simple. It's so easy.
There's actually a creator I follow. I don't even know his name. It was like, he skateboards. I don't know if you've seen, he like does a skateboarding video and he's like, I did this my whole life. And then it changes screen, says, you're autistic. Like it literally like you have ADHD or you're autistic. Like, and it's the same video. He just changes the hook. And I'm like, every time I see it, I like it because it's funny. Or like if it relates to me and I'm like, oh, and that's why I keep thinking like maybe there's something else going off my brain.
And there's a lot to say about repetition too.
Yes.
Like if you're the kind of person that does struggle to brainstorm new ideas, find ways to repeat the same old ideas, find ways to like be in the same place, to like have that same look. And then you just like don't have to think about it all. It just eliminates so much of that decision fatigue and builds that like brand awareness and like recognition that people see. There was that guy on TikTok who he was always holding these mugs. Like his whole business was actually the mugs. And they were funny little mugs that looked like old China mugs, but they actually had like pictures of aliens and stuff on them. Anyways, but it was always just like him lip syncing to some kind of funny line, same place, holding a mug.
And it worked for him.
It worked for him. He did very, very well. It was always just him in the same place doing the same thing. And it worked. And some people just love that.
Yeah, and I think that's the biggest thing. Just repeating what you see is working. Going and seeing like what are the top videos people in my industry are doing? What are coaches doing? What are let's say you have a flower shop or pottery, whatever it is. Go find those videos that are doing really well and replicate the same style and find what works for you, and then when
copy, don't steal, but like
yes.
Also, don't bother doing, if you got a new idea, try a new idea. Always throw out a new idea. Like, just because you haven't seen it done before, do it anyways. Like, you might as well. But also, if you're low on energy, go and figure out what other people are doing and do that. Figure out what somebody else already figured out works.
Yes. And that's the thing. Drawing inspiration is different from copying people's content. Like, oh my gosh, I've seen people copy word for word captions, text on screen. Like they will steal a person's entire content. It's insane. There's actually like laws and things in place. Like you have to work with like really with digital products.
It's hard these days to like protect your content too.
Yeah.
Like I know that I did have a conversation in my Discord group at one point. There was a creator who had like a bunch of her content stitched and like stolen. Like basically they were just like stitching off of her content to like make their point. So just like it's just so icky. Like not only do we have to deal with all these other shitty things about being chronically ill and trying to build our own business, but then also, and then especially when a healthy creator steals from it,
Yeah. You're like, you didn't even need to use this.
And this particular one, she stole the, like, she was using the content to also pitch her, like, snake oil medicine, whatever she had, too, on top of it. So
Yeah.
there
I
was
think
talk of a mob.
the biggest thing is just, be you. Don't try to be someone else. Like,
Yeah.
be you, who you are. Market yourself the way you feel is the best way you can. Be you, and you will find your people. And then when they come to your page, they're like, wow, she is for me. Like, she's selling what I need or what I want, and you make it clear. Like, optimize your bio. Like, clearly say, this is who I help. This is what I do. This is how to work
That's
with
what I
me.
was going to say. I was going to say the last thing I really wanted to talk about was how are we optimizing that bio? Let's get specific in that for a moment, because I can't tell you how many bios I've gone to recently where I'm like, I think you own a business. You have a link to a business, but I can't tell what you do.
Yeah. And that goes back to the clear messaging of like who you are. So SEO and keywords do really matter. At the top of your page, you don't have to just put your name. You can put, like for me, I have my name and it has for wellness marketing for wellness brands, right? And healthcare,
coach.
whatever. Like for you, it should say cozy business bestie, coach. Use the word coach, use the word podcast, host, things like that, because then people are like, oh, clearly I know like what she does, who she is, what she's about. And people know how to work with you. Make that link in bio so easy. Like just one link, you can have a link tree that has everything, or your primary offer at the moment, or like where you want people to click, like making that the main focus. Yeah.
Always make it so easy for people to work and buy from you, because people are lazy.
Yes.
And some of us are just tired, but like most of us are a little bit lazy and we're not going to put the effort into it. So make it very clear who you work with, what you do, all the important things. Liz, thank you so much. Can you please tell us who you work with, what you do, and where to find you?
Yeah.
Look at that perfect transition.
I do marketing and social media for multiple businesses, but I love working with wellness businesses because of my own chronic illness journeys. I just love being able to support other wellness businesses in marketing themselves and their brand. And I am primarily on Instagram. That is my app where I love to be. So you can follow me at Cruz Social Co. And I would love to connect with anyone who needs further help or just wants to connect.
Thank you so much, Liz. I'm going to make sure that I put all of those links down in the description. You can also find it all on my blog and on my YouTube, all of the places. Thank you so much for listening to this week's episode of Chronically Cozy Chats. If you enjoyed, please do give it a like, hit that subscribe button, all the important things. Make sure that you sign up to our newsletter if you never want to miss an episode. And if you want to be on Cozy Chats, there is also a little link below to fill out a form and a little application so that you can share your story. Hopefully we will see you next week. Thank you again so much for being here. This was such a great conversation.
Thank you, Randy.
See you all next week. Bye.
Bye.